بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله الصادق الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه وعلى من سار على دربهم واتبع نهجهم إلى يوم الدين. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل الله فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلوات الله وسلامه عليه عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. اللهم أمتنا مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز. ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. All praise is due to Allah, the Beneficent, most gracious, most merciful. We praise Him. We seek His help and we seek His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil of ourselves and the evil of our actions. Whomever Allah guides, none can misguide, and whomever Allah leads astray, none can guide. I bear witness that there is no God or deity worthy of worship but one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His slave and messenger. As I bear witness that all the prophets were the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the messengers of Allah. O you who believe, fear Allah. Abstain from what is impermissible. Fear Allah the fear that He deserves. Fulfill what is lawful. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ حَقَّ تُقَاتِهِ. O you who believe, fear Allah the fear that He deserves. And only die in state of total submission to Allah and to Allah alone. And by Allah, whomever obeys Allah and His messenger, they'll attain success in this worldly life and in the hereafter. Whomever obeys Allah and His messenger will attain prosperity, peace of mind, tranquility in this worldly life and a great reward in the hereafter, which is Jannah. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and protect you from all evil. As you know well, that the media has pounced upon not only Abu Hamza, they have pounced upon Islam, on Muslims. And tonight, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I intend to reply the false accusation that they have unfortunately talked about me. Well, first of all, I want you to understand and realize that the reason that I'm here tonight is that, inshallah, I want to clarify the misconception that has taken place. And at the same time, I want you to know who Abu Hamza is. I don't want to talk about myself, but this DVD, inshallah, will be displayed, it will be distributed, and it's important for people to know who Abu Hamza is. Abu Hamza is your brother in Islam. Abu Hamza is not a cleric. Abu Hamza is not a sheikh. Abu Hamza is not a scholar. Abu Hamza is not a mufti. Abu Hamza is your brother in Islam. I've made that clear in the numerous of lectures that I've given, whether it's in Australia or abroad. I have made it quite clear that I am a student of knowledge. That's all I am. I am talib al-ilm, tuwaylib al-ilm, even smaller than the students, tuwaydat al-ilm. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, part of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has bestowed upon me, that Allah has given me the ability to address over the 20-year period. I have addressed many of the brothers and sisters and to convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to them. And many of them have been influenced by my talks, by my lack of knowledge, but at the same time inspiring, alhamdulillah, way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon me. Every good that comes from me, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Every bad comes from me, it's from me and the shaitan. Abu Hamza did not complete his studies overseas. I didn't go to Medina and spend 6 years or 4 years. Or Azhar, as many of the brothers, may Allah protect, have gone and studied, alhamdulillah. But I did do some courses in Mecca and in Egypt. A very short course. Because of the circumstances that I'm in. Because of the circumstances that I'm in. The reason that I convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is because I care. And I don't only care upon Muslims. I also care upon non-Muslims. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran about our greatest Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have sent you to be merciful on all mankind. Muslims, Jews, Christians, Buddhists, animals, plants, whatever they are. And this is the feature that I have, alhamdulillah. And this is the reason that I do a lot of counseling for Muslims and non-Muslims. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, why have I been attacked? There are many reasons. Allah Ta'ala alam what is the real reason. But I know one thing, that even though that I have little knowledge, I have been influential upon many Muslims and non-Muslims. And this Islamic center, alhamdulillah, is a perfect evidence and proof. Alhamdulillah, almost every month, between 4 to 6 people embrace Islam in this Islamic center. And our DVDs, our literature, alhamdulillah, have been distributed worldwide. Alhamdulillah. In Papua New Guinea, in Fiji, in New Zealand, in America, in Britain, in some Arab countries, alhamdulillah, even in Kenya. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed His grace upon us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the ability. I am part of an organization that we are able, alhamdulillah, to convey the true message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear brothers and sisters, as I said previously, it is not Abu Hamza that's been attacked. It is the Muslims in general. It is our deen, it is our religion. Yesterday it was Abu Hamza. Previously it was the Niqab. Prior to that it was Mufti. Prior to that it was Muhammad Hanif. And you can go on and on and on and on. This is something that we need to keep in mind. The media, suddenly they've said that a cleric, I'm not a cleric. First of all, this is a lie. See, they don't want just a normal average Joe Blow. They want the cleric so they can smash our religion with. They don't say he's just a normal person. He's a cleric, as they have said. A Muslim cleric's web rant on women. So my objective, according to them, is to arm men upon whom? Upon their wives, upon their daughters. For God's sake, what are you saying? Allah is a witness that I have responded to calls at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for men that have been physically abusive towards their wives. Allah is a witness that I have placed my life online on numerous occasions of threats that have been made by some male, Muslim male. And here you are. Here you are. You try to convince people that I am conveying to the men to bash their wives. For God's sake, listen to the whole of the lecture. Listen to the whole of the lecture. It is like, my dear brothers and sisters, for me to send you a letter. Don't kill Joe. You take the word don't, and then it says kill Joe. This is exactly what the media has said. This is exactly what the media has said. If you were to go 20 seconds before this, you would find that I have said, my dear brothers, don't beat your wives. And if you were to go to the beginning of the lecture, keys to successful marriage, I have said, the greatest man we as Muslims need to follow is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he has never laid his hand on his wife. He never beat his wife. He never beat a slave, alayhi salatu wassalam. Subhanallah. And I said, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ إِسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Indeed, there has been for you a great example in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So for the best of men are those who follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's exactly what I said. And I spoke about the beauty of our religion. And I spoke the beauty of marriage that should take place between husband and wife. And I did say that women should be obedient to their husbands. Yes. And there are verses, it's clear in the Quran what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, الرجال قوامون على النساء هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن. It's quite clear in the Quran what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said. And it's quite clear in the hadith what the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam has said. He has said alayhi salatu wasalam, ما أكرمهن إلا كريم وما أهانهن إلا لئيم. Whomever honors women, they are honorable. And whomever disgraces women, they are disgraceful. I said that in the hadith. I said that women are partners of men. I said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was proud when he was asked, who do you love most? And he said his wife. What message am I trying to tell my dear brothers? I'm trying to tell them that be good to your wife. Be kind and generous to your wife. This is the message that I began talking about in this keys of the successful marriage. Wallahi al-Azim, 3 years back, a sister called me from America, a revert sister, and she said to me, by Allah, after we have watched the DVD, my life with my husband has never been better. Has never been better. I don't know who she is. She's a revert. She just said, I've been a Muslimah, alhamdulillah, for 3 years. And she said, after we have, alhamdulillah, watched your DVD, our life has changed. It has changed for the better. For God's sake, what am I, a lunatic? To actually convey that message to the young men to go and bash their wives? Subhanallah al-Azim. It is amazing. And we find, unfortunately, that the media outlet is desperate for news. Any person who has common sense, and I'm talking about Muslims and non-Muslims, if you have common sense, and you would realize that the media has at the moment put a footage 6 years later. 6 years later. And it was displayed on YouTube for approximately 6 to 7 months. Any person that has common sense would realize they're onto something. Is it because, alhamdulillah, that we've raised $300,000 in one night? Is it because of that? You might be surprised. Is it because, alhamdulillah, I'm capable of having some impact upon my brothers and sisters to encourage them to donate to their brothers and sisters in Palestine? Is it because I've sent a letter to Kevin Rudd, a message to him, telling him to condemn the terrorist act of the Zionists? Any person that has common sense, Muslims or non-Muslims, hates terrorism, regardless where it comes from. We condemn terrorism if it comes from Muslims or non-Muslims. It doesn't make any difference. And when we saw over 450 children dying in Palestine, and we did not see any condemnation from our Prime Minister, I was saddened. I used to have immense respect for this Prime Minister of ours. He didn't say a word. He didn't send any relief fund for our brothers and sisters that are dying. He didn't say to the Muslim community, even to the Palestinian community, that I condemn this action of these terrorist Zionists. Is it because of this? What is it? I don't understand. You might be surprised at these comments. Rupert Murdoch is the owner of the Herald Sun. And mind you, this news obviously began with the Herald Sun. This man, he's the supporter of Zionism. And I'm not going to say anything from myself. Murdoch's support for Zionism extremists is well known and a matter of record. As New York Governor George Pataki said, there is no newspaper in the US more supportive of Israel than Murdoch's New York Post. It is through a network of Zionist organizations in which Murdoch plays a central role. Isn't that amazing? Abu Hamza started to appear. He started to have an impact upon Muslims and non-Muslims. And now many Australians who are just and fair dinkum Australians, they've realized that there is a terrorist government which is called Israel, and they've been terrorizing people for the last 55 years. And now the Australian community, who I believe are fair community, and unfortunately they have been blinded by the Murdoch clan. Is it because of this? Now they started to sympathize with Muslims, that they wanted this footage about Abu Hamza, beat your wife. Is it because of this? What is it? I don't understand. Information that's been out there for such a long time. Why suddenly it's news now? As I said, what is it? I don't understand. And this is the person who actually said the basic problem of the Muslim people was that they married their cousins. So he thinks that we're sick people because we marry our cousins. Subhanallah al-Azim. So the media out there, whenever a person reaches a certain level, they want to destroy that person. And Allah is a witness. I have been counseling for 20 years. 20 years. And 99% of the time that I've counseled, it was for free. And here I am sitting sometimes 4 to 6 hours to counsel a brother, to tell him to fear Allah. Violence is not accepted in Islam whatsoever. Even in the DVD that I've mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses the man that beats an animal. And that's what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said. This is the religion of peace. The religion of Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. Are you worried that this organization is having so much impact upon non-Muslims, so you want to divide people basically? Or, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, hinder people from the right path? Is that the reason? Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world today. And the West is worried. Even though that the West, the media is controlled by the enemies of Islam. That is the reason, my dear brothers and sisters. That is the reason that you'll find that these attacks will continue on. Today it's Abu Hamza, next day it's this Shaykh, or this Imam, or this woman, or this man, whatever. Subhanallah, you barely hear a positive news about Muslims. They've never ever said that I've been counseling for 20 years. They've never said that I was the person, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that for the last 15 years have been conveying to the youth not to show any violence, to restrain themselves, to be law-abiding citizen. Watch the DVD, How a Muslim Should Live in Australia. Watch this DVD. And I'm not saying this to please anyone. I am saying this because that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. I will never compromise my deen. This is my deen. If I'm going to be in prison for the rest of my life, well, let it be. If I'm going to be deported, well, alhamdulillah for everything. I submit and surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I will never compromise my deen. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran something, then I'm going to accept this. You might ask me, Abu Hamza, why did you speak about this verse of the Quran? Because, my dear brothers and sisters, you don't realize that before I come to a lecture, and that lecture that was done in Sydney 6 years back, some sisters have actually called me, and they have been, unfortunately, abused physically by their husbands. And some of the silly men, they would say, oh, There's a verse in the Quran about this. There's a verse in the Quran that says, beat them up. That's what it says. So for that reason, I have addressed this issue. And I've said in the worst circumstances, these are the 3 steps of discipline that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, oh, should I please people and say, oh, don't worry about this verse of the Quran? Subhanallah al-Azim. This is a verse from the Quran. When the relationship between husband and wife is, unfortunately, for example, if the relationship between husband and wife, it's not going anywhere, there's lack of respect, there's lack of discipline, the woman is doing her own thing, for example. She goes out whenever she wants. She does not look after the children. She disobeys her husband. I have said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَعِظُهُنْ, advise them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this. Advise them. And this advice could be sufficient. And it could be enough. But even before this advice, we're talking about discipline measures at the moment. A woman should know that she is to be obedient to her husband. As Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, he has said in the hadith. The Prophet alayhi salatu wa sallam has said, لا تؤدين المرأة حق ربها حتى تؤدين حق زوجها كله. No woman will fulfill the rights of Allah, the Creator, until she fulfills the right of her husband, all of his rights. And I also said what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said. If the woman was to pray her 5 prayers, fast her month of Ramadan, protect her chastity and dignity, and is obedient to her husband, it will be said to her the day of judgment to enter from any door of paradise that she wishes. Naturally, a woman should be obedient to her husband. Naturally, a man should be kind, generous, polite, to communicate with his wife. That's how it should be. That's natural. If, unfortunately, the man is brutal towards his wife, he's violent towards his wife, that's why in Islam there's divorce. Not like Christianity, there was no divorce, only 30, 40 years prior to that, it was allowed. A woman is not a punching bag to any man. And make sure that you got that right. I will never accept anyone being violent to anyone, even dogs, even cats. Wallahi, the other day I was washing the kitchen table, and there was ants, wallah ants, and I started to wash around them, not to wash them away. Allah is a witness. So as I said, the woman should respect her husband, and the husband should be polite towards his wife. He should be considerate, he should communicate, he should show a lot of emotion, and that's how the relationship will work. If this does not work, then an advice should be taken place, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran, وَاللَّاتِي تَخَافُونَ نُشُوزَهُنْ. And for those that you fear that they're going to transgress, she wants to disobey, she wants to do her own things, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَعِظُهُنْ. Advise them. Advise them. And as I said, this advice could take a month, God knows how long. And that could be sufficient. If this does not work, then ignore her in bed. Neglect her. And women love attention. So if you ignore them, this could be the greatest penalty that they'll ever receive. She would like to wear nice clothing, and she would like that you admire her. You say, mashallah, you look good. She would like that. So when you ignore her, maybe that's a harsher penalty than advised on her. Maybe she'll wake up and realize. If this does not work for a period of time, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, وَضْرِبُهُمْ. Smack them, tap them, name it as you wish. And I actually said in, alhamdulillah, quite clearly in that DVD that you get a miswak. Who's got a miswak, please? Give me a miswak. There's a miswak there. Quick. That's exactly what I said. I said that's how it should be done, as one of the Sahabi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has described. And the only reason that I want to show you now, so it's not taken out of context, as you will find that the majority of people will go and at the moment say, oh, again he said beat them. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi. That's exactly what I said. This Shape up women, and I said that on that DVD 6 years back. That's it. That's it. That's in the worst circumstances. That's in the worst circumstances. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and I've described this. Ya subhanallah al-azim. It's amazing. My dear brothers and sisters, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, in 2005, 363,000 women were subject to domestic violence. The Australian Institute of Criminology estimates that only 1/3 of such crimes go reported. That means almost 1 million people. That's their وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ wives. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى العفو والعافية. Or maybe their daughters, or their sisters, or their mums. Allahu Akbar. And we condemn this action. And we don't like this. This is against Islam. And that's why I've spoken about this. So for those brothers who think that beating them is like that, with a broom or this or that, I'm trying to clarify to the question that I was asked. Because some Muslim brothers don't understand this verse of the Quran. And they think that they can belt them or whatever. So I've made it quite clear exactly how it should be done. This is a message that I have for the media. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, سيأتي على الناس سنوات خداعات يكذب فيها الصادق ويصدق فيها الكاذب. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, there'll be a time, there'll be years of betrayal, where the person that is a liar will be believed, and the person that is truthful, he'll be lied, and the person who is not trustworthy will be trusted, and vice versa. Subhanallah al-Azim. And that's what you are. I want you to understand that Islam is like a light. You will never be able to extinguish this light. يُرِيدُونَ لِيُطْفِئُوا نُورَ اللَّهِ بِأَفْوَاهِهِمْ. They want to extinguish the light of Allah, the nur of Allah, Islam. Islam that, alhamdulillah, it's moving into the hearts of disbelievers. And many non-Muslims are embracing Islam. This is, believe it or not, what has happened is a benefit to Muslims and a benefit to non-Muslims. This keys to successful marriage, over 15,000 people have seen it. And the other DVDs that I have. So alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. We believe, we as Muslims believe, عَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. You might dislike something, but it's good for you. We've had a brother embrace Islam the other day. We've had a sister embrace Islam, alhamdulillah, because she watched DVD, YouTube. So alhamdulillah for everything. So there's always a benefit behind the harm that takes place. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ لِيَصُدُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَسَيُنْفِقُونَهَا ثُمَّ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسْرَةً ثُمَّ يُغْلَبُونَ. Indeed, those who disbelieve, they'll spend their money to hinder people from the straight path. They don't want you to see the truth. They don't want the non-Muslims to see the truth. Every time the Australian community has started to sympathize with Muslims or with the Palestinians, they come up with something like this. It is like this information is on shelf. Whenever the Muslims have a better reputation, they want to destroy it. Wallahi, you will never be able to defeat the Muslims by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this da'wah, this beautiful message of Allah, this beautiful message of all the prophets, of Jesus and Moses and Ibrahim and Noah and Muhammad, peace be upon him, you will never be able to stop it. Because this is a da'wah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a da'wah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for that reason, we as Muslims should be steadfast. As in regards to the non-Muslims. The non-Muslims who saw that clip, that 10-second clip or whatever, I do understand their frustration. If I was to watch this on television as they've watched it, I'll be as angry as they are. So I'm justifying their comments that they have written. I do actually respect that from the non-Muslims. I do respect their comments and their anger and their frustration. It's understandable. If I was just to watch this little footage that they've shown, I'll be as angry. But all I would say to them is, all I would say to the non-Muslims is, please, don't listen to the media. Don't be so weak. Don't be like a sheep. You just follow the media. The media is controlled by evil hands. And they will program you. They have an objective to change the real picture. So for that reason, I beg you to observe, to ask. That's why there's an Islamic center here. And this center is basically here to convey the message to the non-Muslims and to the Muslims. Because many Muslims don't know Islam. And many non-Muslims, unfortunately, they seem to listen to the media for all information. The media is an evil source. Majority of media. And they want news. They don't care how they get it. They don't care if it's truthful or not. And they know that a person like me can't go to court. I can't afford to take Rupert Murdoch to court. And here they are. They take advantage of our weakness. But we Muslims have belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We believe that one day there's going to be the courts of courts. We believe in the day of judgment. We believe in the day of resurrection. Many of the brothers and sisters said, Abu Hamza, they've defamed you, you got to do this, you got to do that. And that's not the first time. This is the third or fourth time that I've been on the media. But I know that there's God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take my rights. I know that. And that's the difference between Muslims and non-Muslims. We believe in our Creator. We believe that justice will be established. Now they have a lot of money, they can bail themselves. They have good solicitors and barristers and QCs, they can do almost anything, they can bribe anyone. But, wallahi, the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran, وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not oppress an atom weight. An atom weight. Allah does not oppress anyone, regardless of their belief. Because Allah is the most just. So for that reason, we need to understand this. And as a proud Muslim Australian, I'm a proud Muslim Australian. I want you to understand this. I love this country. And I have the rights, and that's the beauty about this country, that I can express my opinion. So if I said, for example, in my talk, I found it amazing that a man can rape his wife. Obviously people have pounced upon this, and they have related this little saying that I've said to women, to violence. Well, first of all, when I disagree with the law, it does not mean that I endorse this law. If, for example, this law has been changed from 1983, that if a man forces himself onto his wife, it's called rape. Now, I disagree with this law. And as an Australian Muslim, I have the right to disagree. There are many politicians that disagree with many laws. That's why in Canberra, every week, they change laws. But if I disagree with it, it does not mean I tell people to do it. It does not mean that I endorse this. If I disagree with something, for example, at the moment out there on Sydney Road, it's a 60 zone. If I said, well, 60 zone is too fast, for example, it should be 40, I disagree with the law. It does not mean I'm telling people to drive 40 or 100. I disagree. And I have the right to do so. May I express my opinion? Isn't it the land that, the land of democracy that a person can speak? So if I disagree with something, it does not mean I tell people to, rape or be violent as you guys have interpreted. This is something that we need to keep in mind. I am the caller of being a law-abiding citizen. And I'm doing this, again, as I said, wallahi not to please Kevin Rudd. I am here to please my Creator. And that's what my Creator wants me to say. And everything that I say, I have a good connection with scholars overseas. I have a good relationship with scholars overseas. And everything that I say, I go back to them. Because Islam is not what people think. Islam is what God said in the Quran and what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said in the Sunnah. My dear brothers, Islam is not like other religions. At the back of the Quran, there is no expiry date. There is no expiry date. This is Islam. We can't force Islam onto you non-Muslims. But we would love that you embrace Islam. Because, wallah, I care about you, non-Muslims. I care about you, Australians, regardless of your belief, more than Kevin Rudd. Uqsum billah al-azim. By Allah, I care more about you than the Prime Minister. You might be amazed. Listen, the Australian government makes approximately $3 billion in alcohol tax revenues, according to the 2007-2008 budget outcome review website. Gambling revenue, $4.7 billion the government makes. The government that claims that they care, they don't care. They don't care. Your creator cares. Your maker cares. Whether it's the Australian government or any other government. It doesn't matter who they are. Whomever legalizes gambling, alcohol, prostitution, they don't give a damn about their community. This country is suffering because of these evil substances that they are providing to the people. I swear by Allah, if they give me 10 minutes in Parliament House, all I need to do is shut the casino. Were we human beings before the casino was established? Do you know how many people killed themselves and throw themselves from the Westgate Bridge after they've gambled their lives away? Don't you know how many people, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, steal from their wives and their children to support their evil habit? Oh, you might say, you know, they're mature and they're old enough. My dear brothers and sisters, when you are surrounded with temptation, when you are surrounded with so many temptations, it's very hard to keep away from it. It's very hard. It's like you casting someone in water, throwing someone in water and say, hey, don't become wet. These temptations and these desires, this is something that we need to keep in mind. And in regards of alcohol, it's the biggest killer on our roads. And that's the main reason that people go out there and bash their wives and bash their mothers and sons and daughters. So what I'm talking about, that's the drugs that is so-called legalized. If I had the opportunity, wallah al-azim, first of all the casinos will be closed all around the country. The TABs. All these evil places, they'll be closed, wallah al-azim. Prostitution will be stopped. This is something that we need to keep in mind. And as in regards of alcohol, we will obviously address the people, we will convey the message to people, the harm of it, the effect of it. This is, you need to understand us Muslims. A Muslim does not look and see people destroying themselves and sits back. Allah has cursed those who disbelieve from the children of Israel, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran. لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا من بني إسرائيل على لسان داود وعيسى ابن مريم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cursed the disbelievers from the children of Israel on the tongue of Dawood, David, and Jesus, the son of Mary. Why? Because they used to see evil doings. They used to see wicked acts, and they used to sit back and watch it. But as a Muslim, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about every Muslim, male and female. If they were to see a wrongdoing, they should change it. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, "Man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi." Whoever sees a wrongdoing, change it with your hand, change it with power, and that's what the government can, and the police and the authority. If you can't change it with your hand, change it with your tongue. If you're not able to change it with your tongue, change it with your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس ليش؟ تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, You are the best of people that have been sent to mankind. Why? There's a reason. Because you enjoin good and you forbid evil. You don't see a man bashing his wife and you sit back. You should stop him. You don't see someone drinking himself to death. You should stop him. You don't see your brother gambling his life away, gambling his children, gambling his wife. And you should stop him. You should say, I don't care. We live in, unfortunately, in a society, and I'm not talking about this country, the majority of countries, where people don't care. How many women have been raped in daylight and no one did give a damn about it? But we care. If I was to see a brother of mine, a Muslim brother, going out there to belt a non-Muslim, wallahi, I will put my life on the line to defend that non-Muslim, regardless whether he is a Jew, Christian, even a dog. If I was to see a Muslim kicking a cat, I'll be so upset at that person. This is Islam. This is the religion of Allah. That's why it's the fastest growing religion in the world, because people are reading and they are seeing totally different than what the media is portraying. So, for that reason, this advice to the non-Muslims, please, don't listen to the media. Don't believe in the media. Listen to what Cat Stevens has said. He said, Alhamdulillah, that I got to know Islam before I got to know some Muslims. And the reason that he said this is that because the media always portrays Muslims as bad. Not because Muslims are bad. If you were to look closely, you will find that the majority of Muslims are law-abiding citizens. Yes, there are a few idiots in the Muslim community, as there is in the Jewish community and the Christian community. But let's not generalize. Let's not generalize. This is something that we need to keep in mind. Also, I would like to address the Muslims. My dear brothers and sisters, during this hype that the media has obviously conveyed to people, the Muslims were divided to two groups. You'll find that some of the Muslims have jumped on the bandwagon. Some of the Muslims have condemned my action. Obviously, that there are some people who don't seem to understand Islam properly. And this is a problem. My dear brothers and sisters, I will not mention a name, because that's irrelevant to me. But just imagine a person, imagine a person named Khalid, one of the brothers. He said something, and the media pounces upon that person. What is required for us Muslims to do? First of all, to give the brother the benefit of the doubt. Remember the media. Remember the Herald Sun. Remember the Australian. Remember Rupert Murdoch. Remember them. That's an evil machine. Remember them. First of all, I give the brother the benefit of the doubt. Second thing, I question the brother. Salaam alaikum, brother. Is this what has happened? All of my brothers and my sisters who spoke about me, none of them have spoken to me. And they went to the media and blasted the hell out of me. But wallahi, I forgive you. But I don't know if Allah forgives you. I forgive you. Because you did not disgrace Abu Hamza. Abu Hamza does not give a damn. He has a fuse, which is the feeling fuse. That's been burnt a long time ago, so nothing has an impact upon it. But you have embraced, unfortunately, you disgraced your own religion. You have disgraced your own religion. One of the brothers calls me after he's written a 2-page article. And he said to me, Abu Hamza, some people have been harsh to me and they spoke ill about me. I said, brother, you're upset about this? I said, brother, you've written a 2-page article. Did you watch the whole DVD? He said, no. I said, brother, did you speak to me? He said, no. I said, brother, do you know what is required from you as a Muslim? I said, first of all, to verify. Second of all, to give the benefit of the doubt. Third of all, to advise me. Fourth of all, to cover up for me, for God's sake. If Abu Hamza stuffed up, bring Abu Hamza. Bring him in. Okay, Abu Hamza, what did you say? Where did you get this from? Is that what your mother has said? Your father has said? Thank you, Abu Hamza. We respect your opinion. Keep it to you. But if Abu Hamza has said what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, and what Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, give him the benefit of the doubt. Even though that you've claimed that there are differences of opinion. I don't know where you got this dribuhun, that means walk away from them or separate from them. Where did you get this from? I don't understand. Subhanallah al-Azim. He said, obviously you're angry. He's saying to me, obviously you're angry. MashaAllah. And look to what this brother has said. May Allah forgive him, Ya Rab. May Allah guide him and guide us. He said, I was troubled when I first read the relevant verse years ago. He was troubled. Allahu Akbar. Wallahi, he does not know the comments that he's making. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in Al-Quran, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Ya Allah, ma ahla al-verse. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, by your Lord, they will not believe until they make you a judge in between their affairs. ما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمر أن يكون الخيرة من أمرهم. It is not befitting upon a believing man or a believing woman when Allah judges an affair or His messenger that you have a choice in the matter. You have no choice. And he continues on saying, it seemed to fly in the face of my beautiful spirit of the Quran. And he said other things that I'm too disgusted to talk about. That's not Islamic. Subhanallah al-Azim. And another sister, may Allah forgive her, has said, violence against women is unacceptable. If you watch the whole DVD, I've never once mentioned the word violence. And if I did mention it, I'm against it. In present day society, no progressive thinking leader would responsibly advocate violence in relationships. Here I am advocating violence in relationships. Did this sister watch the whole DVD? Mind you, some of the leaders, some of the Muslim leaders, when it comes to circumstances, very difficult circumstances sometimes, the violent circumstances, they call me. Shame on you. And another leader has said, again, he doesn't understand English. He said, he has misinterpreted this verse of the Quran. Again, he did not watch the DVD. It is amazing. Wallahi, I am shocked, not at the non-Muslims, because I give the non-Muslims the benefit of the doubt. But I am shocked at the Muslims. I was really upset and frustrated at some of the comments that the Muslims have made. As in regards of the non-Muslims, as I said, the best thing that we can give the non-Muslims is Islam. Islam is the religion of the Creator. Islam is the religion of all the prophets. Islam has been ruled by in many countries, and justice has been established. You might look at the moment to some Islamic countries and you might say, well, there's an Arab country here, and there's crime rates, and there's alcohol. These countries are not ruling by Islam. They are ruling in certain things, in family issues, domestic issues, but they're not ruling by Islam in total. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, my dear brothers and sisters, please pay attention to this verse of the Quran. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا ادْخُلُوا فِي السِّلْمِ كَافَّةً وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. All you who believe, enter into Islam totally. The religion of your Creator, the most expert, the all-knower, knows what is befitting for you and me. Islam is not the religion that we can modify or delete. Allah knows best. We believe that God knows best. Isn't that right? Our Creator knows best. Who knows more about the vehicle Ford? The Ford manufacturer. So who knows more about me and you, my dear brothers? Our Creator. Our Creator knows best. So for that reason we obey Him. We listen to Him. But Islam is not the religion that we change as other beliefs do change. And we Muslims believe that we must change our way of lives to befit what is in the Quran and Sunnah. We must change, we don't change the Quran to suit our way of life. Because if the Quran is to come down to suit each one of us, there will be 1,300,000,000 Qurans. There's only one Quran. And you must justify your life. And you must change your life to befit what is in the Quran. This is Islam. And let's be realistic. There were better preachers than myself. There were prophets, for God's sake. Prophets, they were fought. People disbelieved in them. People made a mockery out of them. People tried to kill them. And some prophets were killed. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he's an elegant speaker. He had immense wisdom. He had the best of character. People still disbelieved in him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, قُلْ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Say, O Prophet, to people, the truth is from your Lord. Whomever wishes to believe, believe, and whomever wishes to disbelieve, disbelieve. We're not forcing non-Muslims to embrace Islam, but we would love that you embrace Islam. We would love that you embrace Islam. That is our dream, and that's why we have an Islam. That's our objective, to clarify what the real Islam is. To remove all this misconception that the media is trying to build. To remove all this barrier that the media is trying to build between the Muslims and non-Muslims. So for those brothers and sisters that jumped on the bandwagon, they were quick to remark. They were quick to respond. Subhanallah al-Azim, I was amazed. Do you want fame, my dear brother or sister? Do you want to show your kids that you're on the news or on a newspaper? What is it? And allow me to say Abu Hamza stuffed up. Just imagine Abu Hamza stuffed up. Wouldn't it be better to take Abu Hamza aside and speak to him and clarify? Did Muhammad ﷺ say, Ad-Dinu Nasiha? The religion is an advice? Where's my advice? Where are you? Shaykhs. You are my leaders. You are my teachers. You go out there and you listen to Rupert Murdoch and his clan. And you don't give your brother the benefit of the doubt. You don't give him time to express and say exactly what he said. And why did I say this? Wouldn't it be better? And today it's me, tomorrow it's someone else. So for that reason, we must always confirm what this person has said. Give that Muslim the benefit of the doubt. Muslim or non-Muslim. Don't jump the gun. We don't generalize and say all the Jews agree with the terrorist Zionists that are out there. Many Jews have said we disagree with this terror that the Israelis are causing. We always give the people the benefit of the doubt. We hear them out. For God's sake, if I've killed someone now, I'm taken to court. I have a representative, for example, a solicitor or a barrister. And the judge will hear me out. Muslims, hear me out. I'm already guilty. Subhanallah al-Azim. In all laws, Islamic laws and Australian laws, a person is innocent until they're proven guilty. But my dear brothers and sisters have said that Abu Hamza is guilty before he's proven he's innocent. Okay, and if I did say what I said, give me the benefit. Why did I say it? If I've killed that person, why did I kill him? Maybe he wants to kill me, so it's self-defense. Give the person the benefit of the doubt. As in regards of the brothers and sisters that have supported me through this, Wallahi, you are part of my family, and I love you all for the sake of Allah. I sat back, as I have been instructed by a solicitor. He said, sit back and just watch. He said, you'll be fueling and you'll be energizing the media if you were to actually respond. He said, sit back and don't listen to him. And he said to me, they are like dogs. If you continue on coming close to them, they'll continue on barking. Just ignore them and neglect them, and that's exactly what I've done. The majority of them. I'll never like to generalize. But many of the media outlets out there, their objective is to disgrace the Muslims. Many people have offered their homes. Many people have basically are willing to pay for all the legal costs. Just in case, something goes further than that. Wallahi, I've actually watched and read many of the comments from brothers and sisters, and especially the sisters. Wallahi al-Azim, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless each one of you. And this is proof and evidence that what has been, what I've been accused by is nothing but Allah. There was wonderful comments that many of the brothers and sisters have actually written back to the Herald Sun, on YouTube, on ISNA's website. I was overwhelmed. And I love you guys for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As I said, many people have offered many things, but all I want from you is one thing. Is when I'm right, to stand by me. And when I'm wrong, to stand in front of me. I don't want you to support me if I'm wrong. I want you to stand by me, to stand against me and say, "Oh, Hamza, you're wrong." As many of the brothers and sisters have. And I'll respect their opinion. And wallahi al-Azim, this what will make a human being respected amongst others. When he acknowledges and admits that they're wrong. So please, in all circumstances, if Abu Hamza is wrong and you can prove it through the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad and the scholars, wallah, I will accept it. And if I'm right, stand by me. We are in need for one another. We are in need to support one another. I am strong with you. And I'm weak without you. And remember what the Prophet Muhammad has said, إِنَّ الذِّئْبُ يَأْكُلُ مِنَ الْغَنَمِ الْقَاسِيَةِ. Prophet has said that the wolf eats from the sheep, the one that wanders. The best thing that has happened, alhamdulillah, that it brought us together. Look how many brothers and sisters we have here. The place is packed. Thank you for the media. Thank you very much. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us all and forgive us all. There are a few questions here. What are your comments what are your response to the comments?